event. This was our first and foremost the inaugural challenge that we had in building our portfolio landing pages. And today we are going to be hearing from the massive engagers that we have had within our community and who have tried, tested, and come up with their brilliant masterpieces in terms of putting together their portfolios, landing pages. But before we dive deep and hear their journeys, which is going to be extremely, extremely interesting, I promise. But before we get into all of that good stuff, I'm going to be here doing a little challenge debrief just for people who have missed the challenge or who want to know more about the challenge. So we'll touch upon what makerspace is and what the challenge was, and then I'll hand over to each one of you here who have done brilliant work over the last 5 weeks. And at the end, we are also going to be having a very good breakout session, which is going to be hosted by Valentina, in terms of sharing, learning, and growing together. So whatever we have learned as part of these 5-week period, we are going to be sharing it across with participants, with the other people who are going to be joining us today. And we're also going to be inspiring them to also start creating their portfolios. Okay, how does it sound? All interesting? Perfect. Let's dive deep into it. So just to give a very brief, again, a refresher on Makerspace. So Makerspace is our experiential learning space where we come together and showcase our skills and and do something which is really, really productive and then learn out of that experience. So it's about learning by doing. And what we aim to and what's our mission, we end up providing real world scenarios for us to engage and work on. So at the end of every challenge, we are going to be having a productive artifact that we could proudly present and also add on to our portfolios. And it's definitely a very creative, safe environment for people who have already been in the community for the last weeks. They should have already experienced this, and it was very encouraging in terms of sharing feedback and being open to also accept those feedback and iterate on our work. So yeah, kudos to all of you who have been making this vision true. And also, it's a very particular rhythm that we are kind of focused on with Makerspace is everything is going to be hands-on, right? So it's not going to be just on discussions, just on kind of things that we could do together, but it's more about doing things together so that it's more hands-on and we learn pretty much out from all of these doing experiences. And on the challenges, so it is all octocrafted. All through October, we have spent the time and efforts in putting together our beautiful landing pages for our portfolio. So this is going to be our container now, on top of which we are going to be hosting all our projects that we will be working on. So as part of this community, we are going to be having learning challenges. We are going to be having learning experience challenges. We are going to be having strategy challenges, more to come. So stay tuned. And whichever you pick and choose based on your interests and your passion, all those hands-on artifacts will be dropped into your portfolio so that you can finally see your portfolio growing and enriched with all those beautiful projects that you have already had hands-on experience on. So we are not going to be waiting for any opportunity to get our hands dirty. Rather, we are going to be self-creating these opportunities as part of challenges, and we are going to be having this competing environment within Makerspace to get our balls rolling. I hope that sounds really interesting. Cool. With all of that intros, I am going to be welcoming our very first community engager, Bettina. And she has been really, really lovely and very engaging all through this 5-week period. So kudos, Bettina. I hope you enjoyed this journey. But rather than me talking about your journey, it will be highly, highly interesting if you take on the floor. So yeah, the floor is all yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Supriya. I was very happy to join this challenge because I'm looking for a job at the moment, and I had to come up with a portfolio anyway. So I was like, wow, this is a godsend. It's really helpful to have this supportive community with me. So the purpose of my portfolio is to communicate my skill set and also my experience, and showcase a few of my projects for my future employers. And so the biggest challenge I had is because I'm a little bit of a generalist type of person, and it's really hard to narrow down the things that I want to do. So first I had to specify what I want to have as a role, like what I want to do in my next role. So first I did that. And then since I've been working as a freelancer for 3 years now, and now I want to go into employment, I had difficulties in communicating that I want to get a job and I'm not offering my services. And that was, I think, the biggest challenge for me. And that's where I got the most support from you. So I did a few iterations and tried out different sentences, how to communicate that. I think one of the most useful hint I got that, oh yeah, you can put a button there to download your CV, and because as a freelancer you don't really put your CV there to download. So that was a little bit of thing that I was stuck with, and the community really helped to overcome that, and also get feedback on how you understand what I'm communicating, and if you can see what I want to so like understand what the role that I'm looking for is. Also, what is still challenging is to have visuals. I think there's something that a lot of us forgets, to document your work and also document yourself. So this is a reminder for myself that in the future, if I work on a project or if I do my job, just to document everything so I have something to showcase, and also have photos that I can show of myself during working. So there's just not selfies, that I upload. So yeah, that was all I wanted to share about this journey. And if you have any questions,
Amazing.
I think we will cover that too, right?
Thank you. Thanks, Bettina. That was really soulful to hear your journey, and especially on your challenges and how you iterated based on the feedback. So yeah, and I'm so glad the community has actually helped you shape your thoughts into what's currently showing up on screen today. So yeah, opening this poll. Thanks, Valentina, for all of your feedback on Bettina's portfolio, and Valentina has been so helpful for us to share the link of the portfolio as well on the chat. So if you can just take a moment and share your thoughts, what do you feel about it, and then you can drop in your thoughts in here. Please be ensure that these are all anonymous feedback, but it's going to be helping all of us get more kind of insights around what we could improve and shape on. And also, FYI, all the links of the portfolios are on our channel canvas. So even if you kind of have any feedback after the session, like you could still go through it async, and you can still share all of your feedbacks over the Slack channels. So yeah, that's just an FYI. Amazing. Valentina, should we move on to the next, or should we wait for a few more seconds for the feedback?
Think we can move on to the next. I'm going to remind everyone that our Maker channel is open, so feel free to leave some more feedback for our lovely, I'm going to call them contestants, but we're not contestants, our lovely makers in our makerspace, and keep those conversations coming. Even if you joined a little bit later, I'm also going to remind you that you still have time to build your portfolio. We're going to leave all the information available so that even if you join Makerspace later on, or if you don't have time to finish your work right now, you'll still be able to not just access the resources we've uploaded, but get in touch with us, ask for our feedback, and collaborate with everyone else in this amazing community. Let's move on to the next participant.
Cool. Thanks, Bettina, once again for opening this sessions for us. Moving on to our next participant. Pamela, again, more inspiring kind of conversation that has been going in the community was with Pamela's, portfolio. It was we could literally see the shaping up in terms of version 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, it's all in there, right? So, and I really liked your energy in terms of even the last day you tried to step up and you're like, so yeah, you know what, this is the new version, can you please update? And it was so beautiful to have all that energy kind of bubbling within the community. So thank you so much for all this engagement, Pamela. And I hope this community has also helped you kind of inspired in terms of putting up this portfolio landing page. Over to you. How did you feel about it?
Oh, thank you so much, Supriya. I really feel, this is a big community, but I'm amazed how close I feel now to people and how seen I feel. So thank you so much for your words. They make me feel encouraged. So definitely, it was quite a challenge for me because I started, just letting my creativity go. And in the first iteration of this portfolio, which you probably saw, it felt like I was not clear on who I wanted this portfolio to be targeted. So I was like just explaining what kind of professional I wanted to be and what kind of things I wanted to be in the future. But I feel like it was not landed yet in my current skills and reality. So then I had a very helpful talk with Valentina, and I shifted that. So I feel like my challenge was understanding who my target audience is. I finally came to the conclusion that I wanted to be directed to hiring managers and to team members because, my objective is to look for a new crew to go on adventures with. So that was my topic. I think another challenge was definitely the tool, the learning curve on how to work out the tool, because I never worked with card before. For a second, I doubted and I thought, no, maybe I should be using Canva. So I redid a lot of my site in Canva to decide that it was not really working and come back to card. And then also like trying to make it more dynamic. I have an animation there, as you can see in the beginning. That took me some hours. But the tool was something that I really had a challenge with. And then the biggest challenge actually was to make it really personal. I worked for a corporate environment for around 10 years. So I think my first design was really guarded, was really serious. And I feel it still is a bit, but I'm still trying to get out of that and just show, I put some water themes because I really like water, oceans. And yes, there's a lot of change I still need to do. And I cannot lie, it was a hard thing for me to do, but I'm happy with the result. And as I said, it will never be done probably for me, but I'm happy to continue on the journey. Yeah.
Amazing. That was a nice next step, Pamela, in terms of continuing with the journey rather than calling it as done. So very happy for the community to having supporting you this time. So as with Bettina, please do use this poll for Pamela's feedback, on our portfolio, if you can have a skim through and let her know your thoughts. And as Valentina mentioned, this is not just going to be the one-off opportunity to share your feedback, even on the Slack channel. Please continue to have these conversations ongoing. Amazing. Moving on to the next. Maxine. So much energy, nothing to kind of stop you in terms of what's up. And I know you've had a very crunched schedules in the recent times, but you still managed to put together this amazing masterpiece. And how did the community help? Over to you.
So I wish to have started on this like much earlier. Like I feel like I was really enjoying seeing people's ideas and seeing people's portfolios first. I was like taking it all in and trying to understand more of how I want to like format my own and how I want to come across, because I'm at the moment where I am transitioning into L&D. So for me, this is like, again, a perfect timing of um, just kind of looking out for a new job. Maybe it's going to be freelance, maybe it's going to be actual employment. So I think I needed the time to understand where I'm at before I could get started, you know? So yeah, I started up like later, like last week. I can't believe 5 weeks have been since the call we starting out. But yeah, for me, the biggest challenge was like same as Pamela mentioned, like kind of deciding between Canva, between Card, like playing around with the actual tools, and figuring out like how I can make it more dynamic and kind of figuring out how I want like my image to look more. I also really relate with what Bettina said in terms of like needing to document and have photos of things, because I was finding myself like, okay, how am I going to show who I am and what I can do? Because rather than just it being all text, I wanted to have that element of photos. Um, so I'm proud that I actually did it, that I did something, that there's something there. But I also, there's like a lot more I want to do with it, and that I feel like now gaining the feedback was like really, really amazing. And I got more feedback this morning as well, which I'm just like, okay, like it's very specific things, which I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I need to do. You're right. Like kind of, and it's things that when you're in it yourself and you're kind of looking at it over and over again, you just overthink and you think, is this too much? Does this make sense? Is this what I'm trying to achieve? And then you just get someone else's opinion who is in the field, and it just feels very warm and extremely helpful, you know, because it's people who have done it before in the same situation as me. And yeah, I'm really, really grateful, extremely grateful. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like what my special sauce is and how to make that really clear. And I think I'm going to be iterating this for quite a while, and I don't think I'm ever going to be done, but it will always improve, you know. So, but thank you so much for this.
Definitely. Definitely. So I think now that you have this container, now you can, kind of flood it in with more of your thoughts and ideas and iterations
Exactly.
as and when it kind of pops in. And also, this is going to be, as I mentioned, the placeholder for all your project level, kind of stuff as well going in that we undertake as part of our futuristic challenges. So yeah, all exciting. Thanks, Maxine, for
Thank
bringing this up
you.
with us today. And yeah, please do drop in your thoughts and feedback on the poll for Maxine's portfolio. Cool, all good. We can go in for the next one. Jelga, how are you doing today? I hope my nudges weren't kind of breaking your rhythms with your BAUs, but yeah, you were really kind of amazing in terms of sharing the feedback and also iterating over your previous version. So yeah, how did you feel about this challenge, and how did the community help?
Yeah, so yeah, it's my turn, is it? Sorry.
Yes. Please go
Yeah,
on. It's
sorry.
yours.
Yeah,
The floor
so
is yours.
well, yeah, thank you, Priya, for the kind words. Yeah, so it was a bit, my story is a bit similar as the other ones. That I'm also transitioning into L&D, and so I had a few applications, and then I wrote what I did, but I always felt that the words doesn't really convey the message I want to show. That it really doesn't do justice to the work I did. And yeah, also for me, this challenge really came as on the right moment, because I already had earlier thoughts of creating a portfolio, but yeah, I'm also busy with other things, so it dropped a bit to the background. And yeah, this was like the big stick for me to create a portfolio. So thank you for starting this first challenge with creating a portfolio. Yeah, one of the things I sometimes tend to do is if I get not focused on the overview first, but stick into details. I like to play around with Photoshop and these kind of things. And but I've really had to focus on the overview. And I think, not sure who of us shared the Miro board. Thought it was Bettina maybe, but I found it really useful as a guide to set everything up, to think about my message, what I want to convey, which information I want to put on. So I started with that. And I actually remember that I was working on it, and my girlfriend was saying, "What are you doing?" Yeah, I'm creating my portfolio. So, but why are you doing with that? But then I thought, yeah, this is just really the first step I have to take. So that helped me to create, a structure in my portfolio. One thing I also find difficult is to make sure it's not getting too wordy. Just to I see already some nice examples which look very spacious and open and easy to read. And I also tend to put too much information in that. So that was also one of my challenges. And the extent also to which how much I will tell or showcase of my work. I had saw some example portfolios in which people really discussed the problem and moved from one step to another. But I think it was either Supriya or Valentina maybe that gave me the feedback. You should not add too much about the projects in it. So I also found that a good suggestion. So like it's not really done yet. I think I'm like over halfway, but so far so good. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your words. And thanks for the spotlight on Bettina's mirror board as well. That was something that we had, at the end of the conversation to kind of give her a good hard high five, because that was one of the, I would say, initial pieces that helped us most of us to put the puzzle together. So thank you so much, Bettina. That was really, really helpful, especially when we were doing something like this for the very first time and we didn't know where to start. It was helping us collating all things on and see that picture for ourselves. Okay, this is where I am, this is what I need to do, this is what I'm going to be bringing on table, and then kind of move on to the actual tooling and the next set of tech stuff. So thank you so much for sharing that with the community and helping us all out in the initial phases. Thank you so much. Cool. Moving on. So today Petra, she was another, inspiring engager with Makerspace. She's not able to make it up today for the session, but she has been so kind enough to share as a recording of how she felt about this entire journey. So while Valentina drops the link for her portfolio on the chat, I will play the recording for you guys. Hope you guys are able to hear it, unless there technical issues. Are you guys able to hear it? Yes, no? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Is that audible? I am not sure what's happening.
While we wait, I've shared the link to Petra's portfolio in the chat, and I'll be opening up the poll so you can give her feedback. We will make sure to share any feedback you give directly with her. So keep that in mind as you're sharing. And if we end up being unable to share her video today, we will be putting the link in our makerspace, so we can all benefit from her contribution.
Anything works now?
I still can't hear it.
Okay, let me. Okay, I think there's some technical glitch, but I'll ensure I drop this link on the chat so that you guys can have a look maybe even after the session.
As we mentioned before, we
But
will
that
be
was
sharing.
Petra for us.
Yeah, we will be sharing all the links and everyone's contributions in our makerspace as well. So you'll be able to access all that information, even if you don't have time to finish clicking right now. Just a quick word about Petra's work. If you remember, she was one of the first people to share her work in progress, and very much like lovely Pamela and Bettina, she shared multiple iterations of what she was doing. We love her so much for it. We are so sorry that we can't share her contribution with you today, but I know you'll go watch it later and maybe even leave her a quick message after you do that. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, as part of her recording, in fact, when I heard this yesterday, she has also mentioned that she's open to, all of your feedback on the Slack channel. So the best way to connect with her would be the L&D Shakers Slack channel. So yeah, do connect with her and share your feedback. I'm so sorry the video didn't work as I expected it to, but yeah, that's from Petra. And yeah, the final participant who we wanted to spotlight today was Clarissa. Again, to add on to Petra, she was one of the very, very initial phase contributors to the community. If you kind of rewind back the days, she was the first to drop in the work in progress link to her portfolio. Unfortunately, she's not able to make it up today, but she has also shared the link to her portfolio with all of us in the community. But one good look feel of our portfolio. I'm not going to be opening out all suspenses, but then it's all about the vibrant colors and the way she has projected it so visually impressive. So yeah, please do go have a look at her portfolio and share the comments with her on the Slack channel as well. But this was one another portfolio we wanted to kind of showcase for inspiration and for all of you to kind of share your thoughts and feedback on. With that, Valentina, the floor is yours for our very interesting breakout session.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. So guys, I want first of all to thank everyone who shared their time, their experience, their feedback with all of us in the group. It was so amazing to not just see your portfolios, but learn from your experience and have these amazing conversations with you. I know even whoever will join us later on in the challenge will be so grateful for everything you were able to share with all of us. I've decided to create a little breakout room for us. So in a moment, we will be splitting you up in groups. I hope you will take advantage of this time to share where you are in your journey, what's missing, and any tips if you find yourself in a group with someone who's just started. So that's going to be our goal for now. When we come back from these breakout rooms, we will be sharing a little bit more information with you